Brain Injury Matters was founded in 2013 to support and empower people living with an acquired brain injury and their families. An acquired brain injury is any damage that occurs to the brain after birth. The most common cause of brain injury is stroke, but a brain injury can also be caused by tumours, by infection, by hypoxic injuries to the brain where the brain is deprived of oxygen, and also traumatic brain injuries where people have been maybe in a car accident or had a sporting injury or an assault which has caused damage to their brain. With brain injuries, often the impairments and disabilities that people have are invisible. So people can have physical problems such as problems with walking or moving or swallowing or their speech. But people can also have cognitive problems, difficulties with memory or perception. They may also have problems with behaviour and controlling their emotions. So there's a whole range of problems that people can have. Some of them are physical and can be seen. Some of them are very significant but are often unseen. The theme of the Arts Festival this year is Gather, and this exhibition by our participants and artists is called A Piece of Me. For this work, the participants created journals with pieces of themselves, and from that work have then created the artwork that you see behind them.
I've been doing art for quite a few years with Brain Injury Matters. So I have with Daniela. She came in just before lockdown, and we started to do a wee bit of painting and put things in the exhibitions. But these are the biggest pieces that we've ever done. It's your colours. I love the colours, and I love the satisfaction at the end, and I love the inspiration that people give to you as well.
After someone has an acquired brain injury, they'll usually may then be in a rehabilitation unit, and then on discharge from hospital, they may be seen by a community brain injury team or a community stroke team. And then at the conclusion of that rehabilitation, then they move into the community, and there they face a lot of challenges. Because of the extent of the brain injury, life for that person has changed dramatically. Very often they will lose a sense of identity and self-esteem and self-worth and self-efficacy, and not being able to work or fulfill their previous roles in society or within their family. That can be very challenging for people to adapt to. Some people in this choir might sing with their voice. Some people might be part of the choir by using instruments. Some people might be part of this choir by just moving. And some people will be part of this choir by providing their heartbeat. Because when you're part of a choir, your heart rate will synchronize with the music, and it will synchronize with the other people in the choir. So big hand to the enthusiasts.
Being part of something that you're just a little small part, but your little small contribution goes towards making a much bigger, better sound overall is there's a real sense of satisfaction from when you get something sounding great. There's something about when we start singing together, we immediately rankle out, anything that people might have brought into the room is forgotten because you're concentrating on the singing. So if something bad happened to you during the week, or during the day, you come in, you start singing, and you're in a different place. And then we all just kind of become friends within that space. So yeah, it makes for a lovely kind of connection with other people as well.
At Brain Injury Matters, in the adult services that we deliver. We try to help people explore who they are, re-engage with activities they would have done previously, and discover new activities and opportunities through our art space, our sports hub and our wellbeing programme. And we also support people through our adult counselling service. As part of our sports and wellbeing service, we're here at C.S. Lewis Square. It is about cycling, but it's also about peer support. It's about the coffee stop. It's about the social interaction. And some people come down here at 9:30, way before the bicycles are even out of the shed, because they want to be with each other and get that support and friendship developed.
I absolutely love cycling. For me, I need to wear a splint in my left leg to be able to walk. So walking's painful, sitting down is painful, standing up is painful. I've totally lost all my independence, so I can't do anything for myself. Even when you're unable to drive and you're a passenger in the car, I'm the worst backstreet driver in the world. But when I'm on this bike, I just feel totally in control. I can control the speed, the direction. It's the only time I actually feel like I'm in control of my own movement.
The thing that gives us clarity in this work is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. And in Article 30, it talks about people having their creative and artistic talent and their potential developed, not only for their benefit, but for the enrichment of society. It also talks about people being able to engage in sporting activities on an equal basis of others. It's that convention that gives us the clarity as to why we do what we do and gives us an aim and a focus. We're developing the individuals. They are artists, they are photographers, they are poets, they are creative writers, they are cyclists, and they are encouragers to other people who are facing the challenge of coming to terms with a brain injury and discovering who they are now.
So I've been working with Brain Injury Matters group with exploring dance and movement, and obviously that's really beneficial for just physical health, but also we look at it thematically and we explore themes, so it's really encouraging of creative expression, and the group have been really forthcoming with all these ideas and exploring the themes around making your mark. They had previously done a visual arts project in which they used paint, so we took that idea of making your mark on paper and using our bodies to make your mark all around the space. And we also explored how when each person makes their mark, that has an effect on someone else and has a ripple effect through the group or through the wider community. If you could leave something behind, if you could make your mark and pass on something to someone else, what would that be? So each person came up with that idea, and we created little mini solos of just passing on your mark. And then we brought it all together in our piece in the MAC.
Over the last 20 years, there's been a great development in evidence-based practice, where research has guided clinicians and social workers and policymakers as to how best to care for people with acquired brain injuries, how to rehabilitate them, and how to integrate them back into society. Rightly, much of these guidelines have been dealing with the medical care, the acute medical care, and that life-saving intervention. It has also dealt with the rehabilitation that should go on within the hospital and rehabilitation setting out into the community. I hope that the work we are doing will inspire policymakers across government to see the benefit of making sure that that rehabilitation journey is finished in the community, and that we will have societies which are inclusive, societies where people will no longer need to be protected by the Discrimination Act, where people can lead full and meaningful lives, where their true potential can be seen by all.